game. But with Liverpool unbeaten in 14 league matches at home to City, there was real belief that they could...
He's had a pop, he scored a super goal! Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has come up with a ripper in front of the Kop for Liverpool. And this game of rich promise has lifted. Sané, Leroy Sané deflection, and Loris Karius stood and watched.
Yeah, he was wrong-footed. All his weight was on...
Leroy Sané has crashed it in, and City are level. Thundered through Karius.
Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have been the most informative and transformative managers in the Premier League in recent years. These two great minds are coming together this weekend to have a tactical clash. So, the 12 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League this weekend will be the match between Manchester City and Liverpool. The league leaders Manchester City will be looking to host the league runners-up in Liverpool. Two teams that we expect will go toe-to-toe with each other this weekend as they attempt to challenge each other for the Premier League title. Now, this game will be quite pivotal, especially for two great managers. Jurgen Klopp, who has been a thorn in the flesh for Pep Guardiola in his last 7 years at the Premier League, will be making his first home game against Pep this season at the head. Liverpool's team prides itself as the only team to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City and actually beat them to the Premier League title. This only comes after Pep Guardiola managed to win his first Premier League title in 2017-2018. We know Conte won one when Pep was around. So, should this match be quite a worry for Pep Guardiola? And my answer to you is yes and no. And in our analysis today, we are going to understand how Pep Guardiola can manage to beat and as well suffer in the hands of his most deadliest rival. Now, looking at the head-to-head start, you can clearly see that Liverpool is the boogie team to Manchester City. Liverpool have managed to win 3 out of 6 encounters against Manchester City, while Manchester City have just won 2 and both of them have drawn 1. This has showcased how Liverpool have been quite strong in beating Manchester City in recent seasons. So, is Guardiola scared about Liverpool? First of all, we need to understand how Liverpool line up. So Liverpool generally line up in a 4-3-3 formation. When the entire squad is fit, this is usually their starting 11. Argument can be made for Joel Matip and Konate. I think Klopp prefers to play Joel Matip next to Virgil van Dijk. On the other hand, Manchester City line up in more of a 4-3-3 system, and when everybody is fit, you'll find somebody like John Stones will come in for Manuel Akanji, or Akanji will shift to the left back and Guardiola will drop to the bench. So we're going to try to look at how these teams play and what system they employ. Before we start our analysis, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. So at the Etihad, Pep Guardiola has had a resounding success, having a very long winning streak at the Etihad. We know Manchester City is a possession-based team, and Manchester City spends most of its time in the middle third and the opposition third of the pitch. But playing against a team that also like to dominate possession, Pep Guardiola this game will not have majority of possession as he likes. Manchester City are quite even in all the attacking areas of the pitch. They attack both the left, middle and the right side because of the positional play system that Guardiola employs. Let's see how this works. So when majority of the team has been fit throughout the season, this is how Guardiola has been lining up his team. So when John Stones is in the team is where we see Manchester City at their strongest position. Guardiola likes to have front five running at the opposition's back line. He does this by pushing John Stones in midfield and having Ederson play as a centre back so that he can have this box midfield overload against his opposition. The 4-man backline with Ederson playing as a centre back enables them to outnumber the first line of pressure, and they can easily build through the middle by Ederson picking the free eights who try to pull out during build-up shape. Now, Manchester City, and when Stones plays, they have a good understanding with Rodri, and they can start in a staggered pivot position where both of them will try to drag each other in a staggered position to allow players such as Bernardo Silva and Julian Alvarez to pick balls and immediately attempt to thread through balls for the runs of Erling Haaland. This is a great strength that Manchester City have. So opponents usually try to let Manchester City to build through the back, but we saw against Chelsea went toe-to-toe with them, and Manchester City scored some goals in transitions. Now, in these instances, you can see the clear understanding of John Stones to receive the ball in tight areas and try to link up with Manchester City, aiming to overload the fullbacks in a 2v1 system. Also, the presence of the likes of John Stones also enables them to counter-press, and his excellent reading of the game enables him to know when to drop to the backline to give the team support during build-up. Now, Haaland came off injured during the international break, and he's doubtful if he will start this game. We're going to see how Pep Guardiola can use this to his strength. Also, John Stones is not available and he's out injured, which will also give Guardiola problems. So how can Pep try to innovate his system this way? So when Haaland and Stones are not there, definitely Akanji will start in the back line during build-up, and now Manchester City will be building with a 4-man backline. Another thing that we are more likely to see in this kind of system is that Mateo Kovacic can come in and Manchester City can form that box-shaped midfield, but this time they may try to build with as many as 6 players, with their goalkeeper playing as a third centre-back. In this case, if Akanji decides to invert in midfield to try to give Manchester City that build-up structure, what will happen is Manchester City will now start to have close to 5 players, because Pep might decide to play Alvarez and Erling Haaland and Phil Foden as his twin eights. Now, when Manchester City decide to play through the middle, Akanji is not quite that great, and most likely he will try to play the ball to the touchline, where Liverpool might now try to engage in a touchline press. In this case, Liverpool might limit Manchester City's progression with the ball. Against Tottenham Hotspur, we saw Liverpool sitting in close to a narrow front three and a narrow midfield to compact spaces in midfield to have as many as 6 players to deny their opponents time to build through the middle. This might force now Liverpool to engage into touchline presses or to momentarily place the 2 centre-backs. This might now force Manchester City to move to a back 4 kind of system, and in this system you might find a player such as Guardiola playing as a centre-back. And in this system, Manchester City can build quite effectively, since they will have these twin false nines in Foden and Julian Alvarez, leaving Matip and Virgil marking no one. So if Guardiola decides to play with this 4-2-4 system he played with in 2021, he's going to create a lot of chaos for Liverpool. And here is why. The 2 false nines that he will deploy will play further deeper, while his wingers will start out wide, making Manchester City have a front 4. The back 4 will be imposed so that they can be able to beat Liverpool's front 3 pressing strategy. And the position of these twin number 9s dropping deep to receive the ball and immediately trying to link up with their wide players will be quite crucial. Now, when Manchester City are in more attacking phases of play, Walker can be the one joining the front line, allowing Bernardo Silva, Foden and Alvarez play as the front 3, quite narrow, with the Doku generating the width down the left hand flank. The left-hand flank will be also quite important for Manchester City, since the position of Doku, Guardiola and Julian Alvarez can be a nightmare for Trent Alexander-Arnold, especially if Szoboszlai decides to sit on Mateo Kovacic. And in this case, Doku can be quite instrumental in running at Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has showcased weaknesses in his defensive ability. That is how Pep can destroy Liverpool. Now, what will Klopp do? What is this that Klopp does that makes him so strong against Pep Guardiola? We're going to do that analysis in just a few seconds. Now, Liverpool, like Manchester City, are also a possession-based side. They spend majority of their time in the middle third and opposition defensive third. And when you look at Liverpool look like they attack generally through the right-hand side and less through the middle part of the pitch. This is through the combination of Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So definitely we assume Manchester City will be pressing Liverpool high up the pitch, and Klopp in sometimes this season has decided to invert Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. The main aim in this situation is to force Manchester City to press Liverpool in a narrow position so that Virgil van Dijk can use his excellent passing accuracy to pick the ball to Mo Salah, who can attempt that cross-field pass to Luis Diaz, something that he did against Chelsea and Tottenham. In this case, Salah can run at Ruben Diaz and win the ball and immediately beat Manchester City and score the goal. In some instances, Dominic Szoboszlai will be the one who will be drifting out wide to receive the ball and play in Salah, who might decide to join Darwin Núñez in the attacking phase of play, playing in between the centre-back and the full-back. Also, the role of Alisson will be quite crucial as he will try to act as a third centre-back. And Matip playing together with Trent Alexander-Arnold, who likes to invert in this position, we might see Trent receiving the ball and immediately playing the ball towards the channels for the runs of Mohamed Salah, because we know Salah is quite dangerous making these runs from out to in. Now, in a more settled phase of play, Trent Alexander-Arnold will also be quite crucial. His ability to receive the ball in the middle of the park and immediately attempt these line-breaking passes to the likes of Cody Gakpo, who can be playing just behind the opposition front line, and Tsimikas or Andrew Robertson, who can be overlapping in this position, but mainly Luis Diaz likes to pull out and allowing his left back to try and underlap in this kind of position. So Liverpool are the most informed team when it comes to scoring goals this season, and are more likely to cause a lot of problems for Manchester City. So Liverpool can employ an aggressive high press with their midfield attempting to win the ball off Manchester City's midfield and play the ball forward for the runs of Jota, Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah, who can ruthlessly score goals past Manchester City. Also, the gegenpress can be quite effective in setting out pressing traps in midfield and immediately launching quick counter-attacks with the likes of Mo Salah. Klopp's Liverpool this season has been the team that has been great at scoring goals. So far, they are leading the chart in the most goals scored, and actually the XGA showcases how they are quite effective and score majority of the times in all the games they play. So Manchester City are going to find a team that is going to score goals, and one way in which Liverpool score goals is through rapid counter-attacks. You can see here that Liverpool are building from the back. Luis Diaz has come in narrow, pulled the fullback in, and now you can see the position of Tsimikas. Here you can see Everton have attempted a corner against Liverpool. Liverpool win the first ball and immediately engage in a quick, dynamic, fast counter-attack. This fast counter-attack is something that Liverpool are quite effective, and they have done this time and time again against Manchester City. You can see the position of Salah, you can see the position of Jota, and you can see the position of Luis Diaz with Szoboszlai in behind with the ball. A simple ball to Mohamed Salah and Liverpool immediately go 1-0 up. So Liverpool is a team that is quite lethal and dangerous, especially when they are running at you after a corner. Something that they have done aggressively, dangerously against Manchester United. And you can see a lot of instances and clips of Liverpool showcasing this devastating strength that they have. Even here in this clip, you can see how Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz play in these two wide positions when their teams are countering. In the attacking phases of play, Trent Alexander-Arnold might decide to push out wide to play as a more overlapping fullback, with Salah attacking in the half spaces. So in this case, what this generates is that Trent is always preparing himself to be the man in the far post area who can receive the ball through a quick switch of play and immediately play a line-breaking cross to the 6-yard space or attempt a shot on goal. Liverpool like to attack with as many as 5 players. Luis Diaz in this position is holding the width. Once he receives the ball immediately from Tsimikas can decide to make that underlapping run to allow Luis Diaz to make that 1v1 dribble against Everton's fullback, something that Liverpool do time and time again throughout the game. The devastating strength that Liverpool has is that it has two 1v1 players who are very good in 1v1 situations in both wide areas. Here you can see Liverpool are countering against Everton. You can see the position of Mo Salah, while Luis Diaz is easily going to beat the centre-back who's trying to cover him. Also, another thing to look when Liverpool are building their play. In this game against Tottenham, you can see how they have created that front 5 kind of system with Salah playing just in behind. So Mohamed Salah will be quite a problem for Manchester City in this game, and he's a tactical problem that Pep Guardiola will have to learn how to deal with. This game again is going to pit two great managers in Pep and Jurgen Klopp, who have tried to take their teams to higher levels. These two managers have formed one of the best teams in Premier League history throughout their time in the league. It's a renewed rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester City. Drop your predictions below on who do you think is going to win this game, and if you've stayed with us till the end of the video, thanks for watching and see you next time.